Ricky Nelson, a legendary musician and actor, had it all: fame, fortune, and a loving family. However, his final days were marred by tragedy that would leave a lasting impact on his fans and loved ones. As a pioneer of rock and roll, Nelson's influence on the music industry was immeasurable, but his untimely death left a void that could never be filled. In this tragic tale, we delve into the final days of Ricky Nelson and explore the events that led up to his heartbreaking demise. From his rise to stardom to the events that ultimately led to his untimely passing, this is a story of talent, success, and the ultimate tragedy. Ricky Nelson's journey began on May 8, 1940, in Teaneck, New Jersey. He was born into a family of musicians. His mother, Harriet Hilliard Nelson, was a singer, and his father, Ozzie Nelson, was a band leader, actor, director, and producer. His older brother, David Nelson, was also an actor. With a family like that, it was no surprise that Ricky showed an early interest in music. Unfortunately, Ricky's childhood was not without challenges. He suffered from asthma, a condition that required him to be treated with a vaporizer-emitting tincture of evergreen. Despite this setback, he was determined to pursue his passion for music. Ricky attended Gardner Street Public School and Bancroft Junior High before completing his graduation at Hollywood High School. He was not only an excellent student, but also an accomplished athlete, playing football for his high school team and representing the school in the interscholastic tennis tournament. Ricky Nelson was a young man who was destined for success. By the age of 18, he was already earning over $500,000 per annum and was in the 93% income tax bracket. However, his parents wisely invested his earnings into trust funds and allowed him only $50 for personal expenses. As a teenager, Ricky was already an accomplished musician. He played clarinet and drums and had also learned the rudimentary guitar chords. He spent hours practicing his vocals by imitating the rockabilly artists from Sun Records and was deeply influenced by the music of Carl Perkins. In an attempt to impress his girlfriend, Ricky decided to make a record. With his father's assistance, he secured a deal with Verve Record. In March 1957, he completed the recording of I'm Walkin', A Teenager's Romance, and You're My One and Only Love. The single I'm Walkin' quickly rose to fame and ranked at number 4 on Billboard's Best Sellers in Stores chart. The second single, A Teenager's Romance, did even better, reaching the second spot. Ricky's talent was undeniable, and he quickly became a sensation in the music world. Ricky Nelson's success in the music industry continued to soar in 1957 when he signed a contract with Imperial Records. His first single, Bebop Baby, was a hit, generating 750,000 advance orders and selling over 1 million copies. The song reached number 3 on charts, and his first album, Ricky, was released in October and reached the number 1 spot on charts. Between 1958 and 1959, Ricky Nelson surpassed Elvis Presley, placing 12 hits on the charts compared to Presley's 11. However, Presley later took charge of the race and became the only person besides Pat Boone to put more singles on the charts than Ricky. Nevertheless, Ricky had a staggering 30 singles in the top 40 list between 1957 and 1962. Despite his success in the music industry, Ricky also had a flourishing acting career. He starred in numerous films including Rio Bravo in 1959, The Wackiest Ship in the Army in 1960 alongside Jack Lemmon, Love and Kisses in 1965 with Jack Kelly, and The Over the Hill Gang in 1969 with Walter Brennan and Pat O'Brien. Ricky Nelson's contribution to the music industry are undeniable. In 1987, he was recognized for his achievements and inducted into the prestigious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Rockabilly Hall of Fame. To further honor his impact on music, He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame located at 1515 Vine Street. In addition to his impressive musical accomplishments, Ricky was also recognized for his spoken word performances, winning the 1987 Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album for interviews from the Class of '55 recording sessions. But Ricky's achievements weren't just limited to the United States. In 2013, he was inducted into the Scandinavian American Hall of Fame for his contributions to the music industry. He dated many girls in his teenage years, but his mother, Harriet Nelson, never approved of any of them. Harriet had certain expectations for her son's personal life and urged him to prioritize his career at an early age. In April 1963, Ricky Nelson tied a knot with Chris Harmon, daughter of Tom Harmon, a football legend, and actress Elise Knox, who had been friends with the Nelson family for a long time. The couple had 4 children together: twin sons Gunnar Eric Nelson and Matthew Gray Nelson, Tracy Christine Nelson, and Sam Hilliard Nelson, before the marriage started to fall apart. Their marriage was not a fairy tale, and it wasn't long before problems started. However, the couple tried to work things out, and it was only after the birth of their last child that things began to fall apart completely. After a long and emotionally draining legal procedure, the couple ended the marriage with a divorce in December 1982. After his divorce, Ricky Nelson started dating Helen Blair. They met for the first time in 1984, and 2 years later, Blair moved in with Nelson. Tragically, both died together in an airplane fire. Nelson's mother, however, refused to allow Blair to be buried next to her son. Ricky Nelson, the famous American musician and actor, was not a fan of flying, but he also didn't like traveling by bus. To suit his lavish lifestyle, he leased a luxurious 14-seat 1944 Douglas DC-3, which had been previously owned by the DuPont family and later by Jerry Lee Lewis. However, this private jet had a history of several mechanical issues. On December 26, 1985, Nelson embarked on a 3-stop tour of the southern United States with his band and Helen Blair. After performing in Florida and Alabama, the crew left for Texas on December 31st. But unfortunately, the plane crash-landed northeast of Dallas in DeKalb, Texas, killing Nelson, Helen, and some of his band members. It was a tragic end to a legendary career. Nelson's remains were laid to rest in the Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills Cemetery in Los Angeles in a private funeral. The world mourned the loss of this talented artist who had contributed so much to the music industry. Goodbye, Ricky Nelson. Your music will always live on.